Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we are live, obviously. Notifications have been kind of slow, so we've got a slow start. It's Monday, right? It's Monday. So, anyways, a couple of things to talk about. Let's go over what rates are looking like, and we'll have a discussion about costs and you know rates, costs, but most importantly, mindset and how the personal is just as important, if not more important, than the professional. So I've got I'm looking to the side here. I've got my Ascend in front of me. Let's see. Let's get some load ratios up here. And it's Monday, so if you're looking at a low board right now, to me it's pointless because a lot of loads that are posted after hours are usually brokers that don't, unless they put here's what I've learned. So over the years, when a broker needs to move something on a weekend, they will put their cell phone or 24-hour phone into the description of the load on the board. And if it doesn't have that, if they don't have a 24-hour line, then those are usually automatic postings that nobody's going to answer. And if somebody does answer, it's going to be like well, dude, they won't negotiate because they're told by their bosses that they can't move the freight. So, they can't move the rate, not the freight. So usually you need to have your load booked by Friday. Now, Saturday mornings can happen. And what I found the challenge was the rates were actually better. What you're going to see is, since they've manipulated the 30-day down quite a bit, now you're going to start seeing a lot of loads that are about $100 to $200 over. So you're not even negotiating. Like, oh wow, this is $200 above the 30-day. Yeah, well, let's do it. Very rarely do you call on a load, and brokers will attest to this. Very rarely do you call on a load that you don't ask for more, right? And how you ask for it is dependent. Like, there was one load that I called on for my truck, and it was $3 a mile, but I was like trying to get him up, at least $50. He's like, no, we think this is a fair rate. We move these all the time. I'm like, and so I gave in because it was like literally $3 a mile, and it covered me for what I needed it to do. Um, it's negotiating is an art. It's not a science, but it's an art, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. But weekends, again, it goes who has the leverage? Who has the leverage? Does the driver have the leverage, or does the broker have the leverage? If they're able to move a load at $1 a mile, they're going to do it. They don't care about your costs. They don't care about that brand new pickup truck in your driveway. They don't care about diesel being $8 a gallon, because they're at a desk being told by their boss not to move a load past a certain amount. That's the reality. I don't care which other than Specialized, it's going to be like that for all of them. And if you stay in the areas where you've got a little bit of leverage, then it increases your odds of being able to do what you want, but also increases the odds of doing what you need. Those are two different things. Obviously you want to maximize profits, but at the same time, you don't want to dip below your cost too much as well. And right now, with fuel and equipment, it's easy to do. So, all right, so let's do some shout outs. And yeah, we gotta get, this ain't gonna be no 4-hour live feed, so don't get your hopes up on that. I kind of, did a little dramatization over the weekend, with what Friday's live feed. If you haven't seen, Friday live feed is back up, and my apology is back down because Eric made a good point. He's not going to apologize for having a having a conversation. So nor should he. Same thing with CDN. He apologized to me later, and it's like, no, dude, don't worry about it, man. That's what internet. That's what the interwebs is for arguments and discussions. And so by the way, I watched Joe Rogan uh, this morning, a snippet of his podcast, and talk about TikTok. I'm telling you guys, if you guys don't believe me that TikTok is toxic, I mean, just the evidence is out there. Um, so just putting that out there. So uh, if you consider yourself a patriot, you probably shouldn't be on TikTok. Well, I'll just put that there. So, anyways, let's do some shout outs, shall we? Jose, what's up? Good morning. You down there? We've been actually, other than this past 3 or 4 days, we've been hotter than Florida. It's strange, and we're Weather Nation was saying that we're gonna have another heat wave. So we've pretty much hit drought status. And then St. Louis, if you're trying to drive through St. Louis this past weekend, you probably had some struggles because there was like major flooding on the southeast part of St. Louis. If you're on the northwest side, it wasn't too bad. Don, what's up, man? How you doing? It looks like a pretty motorcycle there in your avatar. I think that's pretty cool. Sam I Am, what's up? Oh, sir, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Desert Okie Pam, good morning. Also, thank you for your membership. Pam, thank you for your membership. Greg, thank you for your membership. What's up? Yeah, good morning. Shannon, thank you for your membership. Man, the members are strong this morning. Thank you very much. And I got the stuff coming in the mail that's going to be for the members. So stay tuned to that. Nothing Witty, good morning. Cattle Hauling, good morning. Shannon, happy Monday. Now, Shannon, I got to give Shannon credit here. She saw that her warranty was about to expire on the mileage aspect of her truck. So something went out on her truck. So she lucked out on that. And then said, you know what? I need this gone over with a fine tooth comb, which the shop is happy to do because they make money off of warranty work as well. And they found quite a few things that will still be under warranty. So kudos to Shannon. Her biggest expense is the downtime and the hotel room. So Shannon, kudos to you for looking ahead and looking, because now once that truck hits 500,000 miles, now I would also see maybe about extended warranty. The debate is out there whether they're worth anything, but they're also expensive too. So, it usually requires, I know for PACCAR, it requires a dyno and about $600 to $800 of testing to see if it's even worthy of an extended warranty. And then some extended warranties are good, some aren't. Some just pay for part, but any help, every little bit helps. Scott, good morning. What's up? How are you? Greg Zimmer, let's make some money today. Absolutely. TK, what's up? I noticed you were approaching your delivery, so let me know when that's going down. Fate Trucking, good morning. To Cattle Hauling, Big Houston. Let's see, TK, how you doing, TK? You got that new truck yet? Let's see, everybody's saying hi to each other. Good morning. Just stop, say hi. Got to get back on the road. Jason, I hope you're doing well. Flats out of Texas is good today. Oh, good deal. Yeah, let's see. Let's load ratios. 3,000. Well, oh wait, this is van. Okay, so let's do a comparison. On the van, 3,049 loads going in and 27.29 coming out. And we're going to talk about that for a second. Let's do flat. Take that out. Take that out. Let's see. On the flatbed, yep, 1852 going in and 2061 coming out, at least on the DAT board, right? So for some reason, well, I know the reason, they do not want to pay to go into Texas. Now, it used to be you got your money going in and you took a little bit, not much, but took a little bit of a hit coming out. However, because of the rates doing so well coming out of Texas, they haven't wanted to pay to go in. And that's the part that's really annoying when it comes to the spot market. You are, if they know a market is great coming out, they won't pay you to go in. You know, and we saw that with California. That's a manipulation of rates. Because what if I'm using this load as a backhaul? You know, what if I absolutely have to go back to Texas? You know, well, you know, now it's lopsided. You used to get a good rate coming into Texas. And Ratman, I need to talk to you today, by the way, speaking of flatbed stuff. I need to talk to you today, if possible, whenever you're not busy. So let's see. Yes, for that reason, I learned when to book my loads, right? Let's see, everybody's saying Mr. 13 Efi, good morning, sir. Nice avatar. Waiting for loaded tanker in Mogadore, Ohio, then loaded and then headed up to the Great Lakes, Michigan. Dang, I can't talk this morning. Hopefully the weather's nice up there in Michigan. Dennis, what's up? Trucker for Life, good morning. I think, isn't this week the winter week, right? Waiting on that title. It's been hot down here. It's been hot everywhere. CPAP, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Don't go to Dollar General in Bethel, PA. Triple park trailers in front of dropped ones makes it fun trying to back and dock. It's not even Christmas rush yet. I'm glad you brought that up, CPAP, because Christmas rush is starting. I've had a couple of friends tell me that they started hauling Christmas freight. So with the warehousing and the earlier start, and it gets earlier every year, I mean, the Halloween stuff is probably already in the stores, in the back rooms, in the back warehouses. Don't expect a huge Christmas rush this year. So just you know, so you ban people, there you go. Soon, hopefully a matter of a few weeks. Good deal. Yes, I would like to know if someone out there with Freightliner extended warranty feels if it's worth it. I like the idea, but I've heard people talk against aftermarket extended warranties. Yeah, you really got to do your homework on that. You know, there's one that PACCAR offers that I almost went with, but so you know, most of my knowledge that people seem to think I have has come from past screw ups. That's the best experience builder. And when I bought my Kenworth, I thought I had a year of warranty, factory warranty left. I only had 3 months. So I was not prepared. And what I should have done is bought the extended warranty at the time of purchase. That was the mistake that I made. And it was a costly mistake. So, because if it's still under factory warranty, you can usually bypass a lot of the testing that they have to do. And you just pay for it up front right then and there, you know, and I should have tacked it on to the loan. So, and what happened was I was confused on the timeline. And obviously the sales guy was too, but or else he could have made another, you know, 10 grand. So what happened, it was from when the truck was The truck was built in March of 2018, or no, not 2018, 2013. And the truck went into service in August. In other words, it was purchased in August, and that was the date that it started. So August of 2013, hence why I thought I had another year, because I was going by the year of the truck. So, and extended warranties can be sketchy anyways. But yeah, definitely do your homework on that. Ratman says anytime. That's the kind of friends it's good to have. Thank you. Pigtail, good morning. I haven't talked to you in a while. Hope all is well. I've seen you've been traveling quite a bit. Tyrannus, what's up? I'm not surprised. Christmas stuff starts earlier every year. Next year will probably start after Easter. Pretty much, yeah. Halloween candy is already on the shelves. Yep. All the carbolicious. All the carbolicious that's poisoning our children. Grafton, what's up? CDN, Freight Broker, what's up? Muhammad, I apologize, Muhammad. I'm not going to butcher your name. Night Trucker, what's up? So load ratios. Let's look at the load ratios. So let's bring that up here. We'll do it for 1, 2, 3 and that. So let me get that set up already here. You want all the tools. So all right. So let's share the screen here. That's one of the biggest benefits of having 2 monitors. Is I can do this a lot easier without having to look at 13 phones. All right, so there's your load ratios. This is per van. Alaska's got 1 load going in and nothing coming out, if that floats your boat. Let's see, Arizona. So if I know the print is small, but if you see the dark blue, if the dark blue is bigger than the light blue, that's a state you want to be in. So Arkansas, Delaware, Florida is a definite no. 1993 going in and only 690 coming out. So don't sit there at a truck stop hoping that you'll get $3 a mile coming out of Miami. That ain't going to happen. I don't care how good of a negotiator you are. 1355 going in and 1466 coming out of Georgia. So Georgia has flipped again. It's gone. No, it hasn't. No, it's more coming out. So Georgia's still good. Iowa's even. Illinois is back to normal of being good. Indiana, same thing. Kansas, look at Kansas. Let's see, Maine. Maine is surprising. 91 coming in and 298 coming out. So I'm not sure what that is. So if you can get to Maine and then come back out, that'll be good. Missouri, even Steven on that. Now I will say this. New Jersey. Now, if you're getting a bad rate out of New Jersey, that money's there because it's 822 loads going in and 1277 coming out. So kind of hold the line on your Jersey if you're coming out of Jersey, especially with them tolls and all the BS you got to put up with. New York, same thing. New York is good. North Carolina is good. Ohio is good. Ohio's back to normal, so that's good. Pennsylvania, another one. 1613 going in, 2128 coming out. So hold your line on Pennsylvania stuff too. South Carolina is good. Tennessee is pretty good. Texas is a little less coming out, so make sure you're getting it going in. Virginia, look at Virginia, 730 out or 730 in, 1097 out. And Wisconsin, 930 going in and 1264 coming out. So, yeah. So but here's the thing though. there's less numbers that are 4 digits than I've seen in quite a while. So let's go to the 1, 2, 3 low board. I'm going to disagree with that Oregon. It is tough to get a good rate out of Oregon. Ask me how I know. California, southern areas, probably where you need to be at. Texas, everything green, people, everything green is decent, and they reflect the same thing about Jersey. What I like about 1, 2, 3 is that they show intrastate numbers. So there's 720 outbound, 619 inbound, and 43 intrastate. Which, you know, New Jersey isn't a big state, so that's probably a lot of local work you're not going to see. And they're different on the main. They got 252 outbound, which I don't know why they've listed that red if that's the case. So that's interesting. I don't know the algorithms that 1, 2, 3 goes off of, other than just what they're booking and all that. So Kentucky's usually better than this too. So anywhere where you see green, people, that's where you want to be in the van. Now, let's do flatbed. Toink, flatbed. Deck specialized, deck standard. Let's take out band specialized. And did it Conestoga. Look at all the dark blue here. Look at Mississippi. If you own a flatbed and you live in Mississippi, you're doing some good stuff. Especially, well, if you can haul over 45,000, because a lot of it's lumber coming off the ports. Washington, look at Washington. So now let's do Conestoga only. Holy moly. Still Mississippi, but look at the numbers. These are all single digit numbers, except for a couple of 2-digit numbers. So let's do reefer. Doink. A lot of light blue and reefer. Look at Colorado. 295 in, 445 coming out. So Colorado is definitely a better show than on reefer than it is in van. But these are low numbers, people. There's like maybe 2 numbers that are 4 digits. 3. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Vermont. No, that's not a 3-digit number. 3 or 4. It's not even a 4-digit number. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas. Texas is light blue though, so reefer's not looking good, people. Volume wise, that's the thing. So let's go to let's just do flatbed only on this 1, 2, 3. So this is flatbed on 1, 2, 3. So you can see where the green is. So anyways, these are the tools that are at my disposal. And I actually have a higher DAT board version at my disposal, but I don't use as much as I probably should. because a lot of loads that I'm booking are primarily through the broker relationships that I've had. Let's see. How many loads in out of Hawaii? Well, you know, for van, it's they don't even list Hawaii because you can't truck there, so it's pointless. Yeah, they go from Indiana to Kansas, so Georgia to Iowa. So yeah, they don't even list Hawaii. 404 Dave, what's up? Virginia is high because mostly beer loads, which I can't haul. Yeah, out of Elkton, Virginia, and Williamsburg, Virginia. Is it because you guys don't have the permit, or is it the weight? Not that I want to heavy load. Screw that. Virginia has a lot of places that have paper rolls also heavy. Yeah, that's the thing with Virginia is you know the trouble with a lot of the Southeast, and then also Virginias and the Carolinas and Alabama. Well, basically from Virginia all the way to Louisiana, is the paper plants. If you have an older trailer, it could definitely be a hindrance. I ran into a situation where I have a driver with an older trailer, and 90% of the loads where he was at that was posted were all paper. And it was one of those deals where it was like one broker posting a load like 18 times. And so, and it was all the same city. So at one point you call on one of them, I believe it was Providence, Michigan. And I was like, get the details. He goes, yeah, you must have a 2014 or newer trailer. I'm like, ah. And so now that canceled all the loads that were coming out of anything posted coming out of Providence. I didn't even bother calling because it's probably all the same thing. So you don't have beer permits. So the CPAP, I mean, I hope that you've used the Convoy. Convoy has a great chart for the beer permits, and it's pretty accurate. So a lot, like we even include that into our permit book. So if you're like Truck and Watch This and you don't have that in your permit book, let us know, and you can print it out, or I mean you can do that on your own, and then put it in your permit book, and that way you'll know without having to look online. Some states require permit for everything, picking up, dropping off, driving through. And then some states require nothing. So, and usually beer is permitted differently than heavy alcohol. So like spirits, like vodka and stuff like that, which a lot of that doesn't usually go on. Well, I won't say that. A lot of that stuff, you don't see a whole lot of that on the spot market anyways, the heavy alcohol. So, but beer, absolutely. So, I mean, these are the things that, it's Monday morning. I've got 2 trucks that are getting ready to be empty. Well, I got one empty now because we had a weekend delivery that worked out pretty well. And we needed to gain back some hours, so we didn't book anything. And then the other one delivers today, and we're hoping this be staged for some freight that I know I will get a list for that won't even hit the load board. So that's kind of the strategy that I do. So if you look at the title of the video, can you do this? So where that comes from is how many of you that own a truck or a lease, you're a lease op. So Dave, that includes you too. How many of you did the math and did a business plan to determine whether you can do this or not? Did you do your homework before you signed the dotted line? Because that's important. So I've sat down with 2 drivers, and we went over numbers. I get kind of a back history of and this is like, Jeff used to do these coaching calls. This is kind of like one of the things that I provide if I dispatch for you is we'll go over your numbers. We'll look at your expenses. We'll look at, I want some background to see if what you want to do is even feasible. So if you run a lot of short haul, we got to look at your expenses and look at your expectations. If you want to run big long miles, we got to look at a different set of numbers and a different set of expectations. And then also where you live is a huge part. It's going to be easier for you to make money if you live in, say, Tennessee than if you live in Arizona. Not saying that it can't be done, because we got drivers that are doing it out of Arizona, but they've figured out a system that works for them. And that's kind of what it's like in the spot market is you're feeling things out. If you're willing to do anything anywhere, you try different strategies, you try different things. And if you're the kind of guy that wants to do a different load every single time, and you don't want any consistency, then, and if you literally just pick the highest paying load on the board and negotiate from there, then that's fun and exciting, but it can also be more stressful. If you're the kind of person that will take a gravy train and ride it till you're so sick of it that you know every pothole, every line, every mile marker, every truck stop, every place that you can park. If you're the kind of person that loves doing that because you enjoy the consistency, when you're going to get home, when the loads are good, the shippers and receivers, and therefore you can be more efficient in both fueling and dealing with shippers and receivers, then we can develop that. And so a lot of it depends on your lifestyle, a lot of it depends on your work ethic, a lot of it depends on your what you're willing and not willing to do. As CPAP pointed out, he doesn't like doing beer loads. So if he lives in a state that you need a beer permit, or if he lives in a state that's primarily what you get out, like Denver, then it could be a hindrance. So sometimes you got to do a load that you don't want to do. Sometimes you got to stay out a little bit longer than you don't want to. And I think Bob G and I have talked about this. We call them the don't wanters. That's the term he came up with. And look, why do you make a truck payment and you get into a self-dispatch situation? Well, because you want to do what you want to do. And you want that independence, you want that freedom. However, freedom, just like our country, comes at a cost. And that cost is every now and then you got to stay out. Every now and then you got to make adjustments. Every now and then you got to, you know, so you just have to make adjustments. I've never been out more than a month at a time. But then once I bought a truck, the second month of being an owner operator, I had to be out for a full month. And I was like, wow, okay. Did it suck? Yeah, but the money was good as well. So there was a reward at the end. Where you run into trouble is if things at home are not great and your expenses are high at home or in the business, and now you got to do things that you don't want to do just to keep your head above water. That becomes a question in and of itself. Are you willing to go through that? And for how long? Most freight recessions, not economic recessions, but freight recessions, tend to be 6 to 8 months of, in a lowest point being around 3. That's historically, even during the vid. So it being able to survive storms and go beyond your comfort zone, hauling that heavy load, going into an area you're not used to, using a new broker, those things tend to help you survive storms. The more that you're willing to do, willing is the key word. The more that you're willing to do, the easier it is to survive the storms when they come. So there's those are the realities of working a business. Ratman can attest to it, Provost can attest to it. There, Scott SRO can attest to it, Jeff can attest to it, that there are points when your business will not profit for a minute. It could be 6 months, it could be 1 month, it could be 1 week, it could be 2 years. And so that's part of being an entrepreneur. And that's the thing that people get into this and don't realize. Wait a minute, I got to be a sales guy and a business owner. Maybe that $80,000 pickup truck I bought probably wasn't a great idea. So these are the important things, and so mindset. So yesterday I went over all that stuff with the driver, and I feel very confident he's going to do very well. Whereas 2 weeks ago I was more like, we're going to have some struggles here. We're going to have some. It's going to get interesting. I never try to tell somebody it's impossible. I never try to tell people you can't do that, because I know people that have gone above and beyond the circumstances that they were dealt, the cards that they were dealt. But that's not the norm. And you got to have a pretty extreme mindset to be able to pull off the impossible. If you had 100, like I know a guy that had $100 at Schneider Finance going through orientation, and everything was riding on that. And you know what? That dude has his own authority now, and is doing very well, making moves. So I mean, but that's not the normal. So I don't like to sit there and say, well, you can't do that. But at the same time, I'm realistic as well. I'm going to tell you if there's a challenge. And so when you approach me about going over your numbers and everything, that is primarily what we focus on. Is there's more than just numbers on a paper or numbers on a computer or on your truck and office. It's more than just that. And Truck and Office offers a free trial, so you can do some mock numbers to see exactly what's going to cost. But there's plenty of, you can do cost calculations. 123 low board is free to try, under a certain amount of loads that you can look at a day, and you just do mock loads. There was a person that haven't seen him in the chat lately in the last couple of years, so I hope he's doing okay. He hasn't reached out to me in a while, but he was actually doing mock loads on the 123 low board, and because he wanted to become an owner operator, he wanted to come up with a business plan, which is smart. If you go to Schneider Finance, they're going to do a business plan for you with ATBS. You don't have to subscribe to ATBS. It's not a sales pitch. It's literally to see if it's worth it for you to become a lease operator over at Schneider. That's what the goal is. So CPAP, I put my numbers out everywhere. So yeah, so if you're curious, CPAP is over there at Advanced Trucking. He is a lease operator over there, and he runs the spot market, booking his own freight. So if you want to see some numbers, he can tell you. Just got to find the lanes that work out for you. Tanker's ready, so I'll be listening. Good deal. DIY, good morning. I saw that you were live twice, once with Cash, but on the other channel. And I apologize for missing that. So you start out with a bag full of luck and end up with a sack full of there. I like that. Tyrannus. That's good. Everybody take a picture of that. Type it to yourself on your text, and and that's kind of, look, there's a lot of luck that has been included in my early years of being an owner operator. Trust me. but also creating a solid foundation, which I had a fairly decent foundation, but I did have some advantages. And the fact that I'm sitting at home doing more dispatch than driving and the safety management, that was part of a 5-year plan that I had. And guess how long I've been at Like Trucking? Almost 6 years. So the 5-year plan, having one of those is a is good. Have start off with a week plan, 1 week plan, not a week plan, but a 1 week plan, and then move it up to a month, and then move it up. I follow the Order of Man podcast, and he has a lot of great information. He's got that book Sovereignty. I highly recommend reading that book. It kind of can give you some strategies on mindsets that you can apply to everything. So, Steve, does getting after every load or once a week require discipline to let that money sit for your monthly payments? Yes. Okay. So, getting paid after every load, that is a challenge for a lot of people. It was a challenge for me on keeping track of your numbers. So, if you're not great at keeping on top of your numbers, being paid after every load can definitely, be a challenge. Because it's a lot easier to slip into bad habits. I know for me it was. When I was using Trucking Pro, I was only adding my numbers probably once a month, and that it was definitely a challenge. Um, so what I started to do, because I know my weaknesses, I know that I would only get on the computer once a month or so. I would at least write everything down. And Jeff was impressed with the fact that I started the what he calls the Snore book, the Snore Lord book. Both him and Gear Grabber started that because I've been doing that book since I was a company driver. I have the load information, and so for Like Trucking, I got my own personal load number. I've got the revenue before and after carrier. And then underneath all the load information, I put the fuel. I put the odometer readings because those are important if you're using Trucking Pro. Um, and so all the information was right there. It was just a matter of me putting it on the computer from that notebook. So that notebook was definitely is well organized. If Jeff's like, "Hey, I need you to look up something that you did in August of last year," I can literally go to a notebook, open it up, and find that load. And without my computer. And so what it did was it it allowed me to stay on top of the money. And then with the dry erase pen in the truck, I would put my revenue because I had a goal every week to reach a certain amount. And so I'd write that revenue down. And then if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's definitely a challenge because you might have one load that pays, you know, there might be two fuelings on it and you get a low revenue amount, but then the next load may not have any fuel taken out whatsoever. And it's a big paying load. So I mean, so you have to be a little bit, you have to plan a little bit. You definitely, and I think that a lot of that throws a lot of people off when they come over here being paid after every load. But then once you see the numbers, once you see the paycheck, then it is pretty much, that when I was a school bus driver, we got paid once a month, and that was tough. That was tough. So it requires discipline all the way around. So, anyways, and the good thing about it is that if every check every single day was like $800, it looks $800. Yeah, you're like, yeah, whatever, But then when you look at your bank account, like, holy crap, okay, I see it now. Whereas like Schneider, the guys at the Schneider, Facebook page, they like to brag about these $5,000 and $7,000 revenue weeks. And yeah, that big chunk of money looks good, but it can also make you lazy as well. Which is why Schneider, has the high payments on their finance trucks. So Cash is king. Good morning. King is in the house. Yep. Cash is king does weekly numbers, works way harder than me. Yep. Well, he's also in a different platform. He's on Reefer there. Not on Reefer. He does refrigerated trucking. Jesse, what's up? Shannon, I know drivers who settle with a certain carrier after several loads. In my opinion, settling every load is easier on the mind while you can still remember the load costs and circumstances, right? The notebook is the key for me. Like the challenge, like with the last couple of loads I've had to rescue, and that's literally what I've done, is how do I make that look good in my notebook so it looks good in Trucking Office? And I was in talks with Alan at Trucking Office to have my own code and all that, but I think he sees like I'm not using it a whole lot, so he probably thinks I'm not valid with that. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll get a code, maybe not, but I hope to give discounts for that. But Truckin' Pro, I have a code. It's called SA10. SA10. And you get 10% off, or 25% off. Sorry, 25% off. So, I don't even remember. Don't quote me on that. So, you get a discount regardless. So, I don't want to be a liar. As a broker, I am paid weekly, but I have a schedule for owner draw every 2 weeks and pay bills monthly. Also, I leave money aside for taxes. And that's the other thing. A lot of people aren't putting money aside for taxes right now. I know that I was watching James Best the other day, and taxes came up, and a lot of people were talking about all these write-ups that they have, and their accountants tell them to spend money so they don't have to give it to the government. There's definitely different strategies, and I definitely am not the tax guy to talk to. My take is put money aside regardless if you got write-offs or not. And that way, when the hit comes, and there will be a hit, especially with the guy with the paid off truck, there's, it doesn't leave us enough shock. And I know other small businesses outside of trucking that have gone out because of taxes. So, if you wish, that's funny. Yes, my notebook's extremely detailed for every load. Good deal, Shannon. Retirement funds are pulled from owner draw on personal bank side. However, I don't believe I am setting enough aside for long-term investments. I will be reviewing very soon. And that's the thing is what do you do with the profits, right? Most people buy depreciating assets. Well, not assets, but liabilities. If you buy a new car, that's a liability. That's not an asset. Real estate can be an asset, but it could be also an appreciating liability. So we've made some real estate investments, and they're paying now. They're finally paying off. So Cool Trucking, what's up? So if you're living paycheck to paycheck being an owner operator, you have to reevaluate a few things. You have to reevaluate your home life. You have to reevaluate what is keeping you from, from making that extra money that you're going to need. So that's part of being an entrepreneur, right? William Buck Brown puts 25% back just for taxes, just to be safe. There you go. And look, the good part is if you don't need it, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That goes for a lot of things, right? It goes for a lot of things. Just about everything. Food, ammo, taxes, retirement, right? So maintenance account. So let's talk about a maintenance account. You have to have, there's two divisions of maintenance and repair. The money's got to cover maintenance. The money's got to cover repair, but it's also got to cover replacement. Now, We used to live in a disposable, let's trade this truck in every 3 years society, but thank you to the manufacturers and the cost of demand, a new truck is now in the 220 to 240 range versus 160 to 180 range. So more than likely, it's cheaper to rebuild than to replace. But rebuilds still cost between 60 and 80 grand, depending on what kind of engine you have. And there are certain engines that aren't worth rebuilding, maybe, so you just replace it. You just do a crate motor. Either way, you're still, so if you have a paid off truck and then you got to get a crate motor, now you've got a truck payment again, right? But where I'm going with this is if you set aside, let's say, $350 a week for maintenance. Now, some of you are like, oh, geez, Steve, that's kind of high. Oh, have you seen repair bills lately? That could be a substantial amount to hit all three of areas of being for maintenance, right? Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. So let's say you go 3 years and now you've got like 60 grand in the bank and the truck hasn't asked for a whole lot of money. Now you've got a good down payment for replacement if that's what you wish to do, or you got enough for a motor rebuild and or replacement, right? So if you need some cushion, like if fuel jumps 69% in a year, which it has, or your car at home broke down, or you had to lose a month because you had a relative that passed away and you have to go deal with that outside of the truck. And so now you need a little bit of cushion. Maintenance account can be a decent cushion as long as you don't eliminate it. So if 350 seems excessive and 200 is adequate, that's a cushion of $150, right? Schneider Finance will make you do an MMA account, managed maintenance account, MMA, usually between $160 to $200 a week, because they want you to be able to make the repairs that aren't covered under warranty. And Schneider does put pretty good warranties on their trucks. So knowing the warranty on your truck, if you have one, is important. I made that mistake. I did not realize the timeline on my warranty. And who knows how much money that cost me at the end. How many pay quarterly and how many pay little bitty fine every year? Me, the latter. 25% for maintenance repair as well. Being in business is always a dilemma. If revenue is low or costs are high, put your business in debt to pay yourself in retirement funds, or just pay yourself enough for food and core bills. That's a tough one. I can't answer that, nor will I answer that, because everybody's different. Structure is very, very important on how it's structured. And sometimes you got to take a pay cut. So if you're paying yourself a salary, you might have to take a pay cut if times are tough. And so that's why it's important for your home stuff to be on it. And so, what was it, 2.5 years ago? I said, stop acquiring debt. And sure enough, that's when freight hit $1 a mile. I think the national average was $1.50 something on the van. Volumes were horrible. You were fighting just to get scraps and volumes are looking pretty low. So these are the things that you have to think about, and usually you want to think about before you pull the trigger on getting a truck. So, but anyways, we've been at this for almost an hour. It is almost time for the load boards to start opening up, and I got to get to work. If you guys got any other comments, questions, or concerns, please do that now. Shameless promotion time. We're going to do that one for a minute. I have exactly 0 sales on my Teespring, which is fine. I'm not in the Teespring that get rich. People were asking for some stuff, and so I've supplied it without even having to handle it, and I get it. I try to make the price as low as possible because you got to make some kind of profit, right? You know, even if it's $1 a shirt, you got to make something. So, and I'm not looking to live off that income. Now, if I could sell them T-shirts to live off of, man, that'd be great. But keep dreaming that dream. And then there's this. So, good morning, Todd. Maybe you can help me with the fuel card issue on RTS. I don't know anything about RTS other than there's some YouTubers pushing that card. I would go to the YouTubers that are pushing that card. We've never used RTS. I know they contact Jeff all the time, and we've got a really good fuel discount over here. So that's something you want to take. I believe there's a couple of YouTubers that 404 Dave. I know that you're in here. Maybe you can give Coach a call and tell him that Todd Blackburn has an issue with his RTS card. When volumes get really low, try eating at someone else's table. Stop going out to eat. That's my goal. Here's the goal for me. I come up with these 30-day goals. The next 30 days for August, I'm going to try to work out 5 days a week. I've been doing this 15-minute workout. A wife has been joining me every morning. It's an easy workout, and I can already tell the difference. The other thing is 30 days of not eating out at a restaurant. The wife and I went to Outback for our anniversary because we had a gift card, and it was good. But we were glad we had the gift card because it was way more than it was worth cost-wise as far as like the overall price. Restaurants have their expenses as well, but they can make cutbacks. Lower quality ingredients, lower quality service, less service, in other words, less people on the payroll. And then the other one is, smaller amounts. So the atmosphere is ruined, the food isn't as great, and the cost is higher. So eating out, we tend to eat out quite a bit. Not as much as probably your average family, but enough that we're cutting back for the most part because of expenses, but also because it's just not good for you. Even the healthy stuff at restaurants is still made with a lot of vegetable oil. Vegetable seed oils are horrible for you. They're just as bad, if not worse, than the sugar and the processed stuff. So that's a different topic for a different day. You got scammed for $8,200. Wow. Yeah, I would definitely. I wouldn't go straight to the YouTube. I would go straight to RTS. I wouldn't even bother with YouTuber for that. And put a review out. No, less than that, Big Rig CEO. They don't have any fraud protection. I would recommend. They don't have any fraud protection. I would recommend them. I don't get that. I feel sorry for the ones that are fighting for their money due to the factoring company going out of business. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, me too, Snowlord. Week 2 workout 18 minutes in the morning, increased walking throughout the days. Sounds like you need to deal with RTS directly, or you need a lawyer. Right. Yeah. My carry just switched to RTS a few weeks ago. So far, discounts have been better than NASTC. Only Pilot, Flying J, and Mama Pop, so no TA Petro. People, you can have more than one fuel card. You know that, right? If you want NASTC for the TA Petro and then something else for Pilot Flying J, then there you go. So I have RTS and XPO cards, right? He's got 2. So, but yeah, Todd, you need to talk to as high up as possible on that. No, I don't know what it, like I said, I don't have anything to deal with RTS because, you know, we don't use that fuel card. So, what's up, Jeff? You missed everything. I'm getting ready to end this live feed. You're late. But you've probably been lurking though. You've probably been watching for the last, 10 minutes. But anyways, guys, any other comments, questions, or concerns? Address them now or forever hold your peace, because I don't know how many times I'm going to go live this week. I've got some goals I need to achieve this week that are going to require my full attention. So I don't know how many live feeds. I try to at least do Monday and Friday, sometimes Wednesday. So because if I'm every day, I seem to be redundant, and my numbers are reflecting that. So I think people are sick of me. So this channel is awesome. You should have Snow Lord on more often. Caleb, thank you for watching. I have NASTC and XPO, great balance. Best thing about NASTC is they don't change prices on the weekends. Well, that's good. So here we've got a personal discount with an EFS card, and it's really good. It's very comparable, if not better, sometimes than NASTC. So, but we just don't have anything for Pilot Flying J, which I've managed to do almost 6 years of not. I mean, I've fueled it at a Pilot Flying J when I didn't plan my fuel stops correctly, or I was, I wanted to hit a certain area or something. But for the most part, I don't miss not having to go into those. Every time I got to do a scale ticket at the Flying J here in Springfield, rather just all the truck stops like Springfield and Stratford are kind of stupid right now. So there you go. Once a lawyer gets involved, then things tend to move a little bit quicker. And at $8,200, that's probably a worthy investment. It's at least worth $100 some odd dollars for the hour you're going to talk to them. No one's sick of you, brother. I don't know about that. My analytics will argue with you. Yeah. Well, sorry we couldn't help you either, Todd, but just be careful of what YouTubers are promoting. Pilot Flying J only seems to care about mega fleets. Loves is kind of the same way with their fuel discounts. We have an okay Loves discount. It's better than paying full price. But Loves has been, they've had issues in the past with other fleets that I've been involved with. So, it's just, and a lot of the big chains mark up anyways. I think there was a point where it's in Missouri. There's a brand new Love's off of 70. I forget where. I think it's close to Concordia. There's a TA right there in Concordia, but I want to say it's like 50 miles from there. And I wasn't going to go that far, so I did not get fuel. I couldn't get fuel in Concordia, so I saw that there was a Love's, and then across the interstate was a mom and pop BP. I looked, there's like 4 trucks over there. I'm like, huh. While I'm getting fuel at Love's, I look over there, and the price at the mom and pop was better than even after our Love's discount. I was like, dang it. So, you just got to do some math and look out. And there are times when I've fueled at Love's, knowing that the mom and pop was going to be like maybe a penny difference, like either above or below. But now I can get a card and my free coffee, and free coffee is something, right? So yeah, I mean, the important part is having a strategy. Don't have a lot of tools, have more than one load board, have more than one source of information, have a network of good people. Stop networking with idiots. Stop watching people on YouTube that don't add value to your business, if that's what you so desire. Now, if you desire entertainment, then do what you will. But stop getting advice from people that don't know what they're talking about. And sometimes that's me. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll be upfront with you. I could be kind of dense at times. So hopefully anything that I tell you, you will do research and say, you know what, Steve's wrong about that. I disagree with that. I'm going to do this instead. There you go. That's what a free market is all about. Most mom and pops don't have DEF at the pumps, or sometimes they don't even have the jugs for sale. Yeah, that is true. So that is true. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you've heard, give me a thumbs up, please. There's all kinds of ways you can thank me, but I don't require thanks. My ego is on life support. I don't have an ego for the most part, because ego can get the best of you. Being humble is how you learn. And I have a lot to learn, people. I have a lot to learn. So with that being said, if you're interested in dispatch services, go to RigRunner logistics.com and see if we can help you out. What's great and valuable about this channel is that you're open-minded to discuss different differences to educate. You have to have an open mind. You have to think outside the box sometimes. But I don't like taking big risks. I'm not a risk taker. And a lot of people don't respect me because of that. I take calculated risks. I'm not the kind of guy that's like, all right, it's all in or nothing. I've never been the guy that put it all on red 23. I've never been that guy. That's a quick way to lose money. It's a quick way to lose your life. It's a quick way to destroy what you've built, in my opinion. And so it's a little bit more conservative than what some people might consider good, right? So, and being an entrepreneur, you have to take risks, and there are risks that I'm not willing to take, until it comes time to put all the ducks in a row. So with that being said, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. We had a pretty good number in here today that I'm happy with. And sorry I didn't put a link out this morning, but I didn't want this to go for 2 or 3 hours, because I got some work to do. So with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow, and I will leave you with the soothing sounds of my guitar playing. Peace.